In this episode of Falmouth in Focus, we'll stop by Main Street to see how Falmouth is honoring a local legend. Meet the new director of the Falmouth Service Center to learn how they're helping our neighbors in need this holiday season. And take a behind-the-scenes look at how staff are working to disinfect the Falmouth Public Schools on a daily basis. All this and much more on this edition of Falmouth in Focus.
Hello and welcome to Falmouth in Focus, FCTV's current affairs program. I'm your host, Michael Kasparian. The recent increase in diagnosed cases of COVID-19 in some parts of the Commonwealth and around the United States is a sobering reminder that we all need to follow the guidelines for social distancing and good sanitary habits on a daily basis. Falmouth's health agent, Scott McGann, continues to stay on top of the latest local and state information and regulations, and his weekly briefing each Friday is a good way to stay informed. Tune in to FCTV Government Channel 15, our Facebook page, and fctv.org, which also includes links to local and state safety information. The legacy of Tommy Leonard in Falmouth has been further solidified with the unveiling of a stone monument honoring him at the entrance to Town Hall Square on Main Street. Founder of the Falmouth Road Race in 1973 and co-founder of the Falmouth Walk in 1991, Tommy passed away in 2019 at the age of 85, and the monument is located across the street from the Quarter Deck Restaurant, the unofficial headquarters of the Falmouth Walk, where Tommy was a longtime bartender. The pink granite rock is engraved with a plaque reading, "This memorial is dedicated to one of Falmouth's legendary citizens." Tommy was a co-founder of the Falmouth Walk and founder of the world-famous Falmouth Road Race. A renowned barman by trade, he spread goodwill and happiness throughout the community with his friendship and philanthropic spirit. Your day of duty well done, Marine. Semper Fi. The crosswalk in front of the quarterdeck is scheduled to be dedicated for Tommy next August in conjunction with the 30th anniversary of the Falmouth Walk. Tuesday, November 3rd, was Election Day across the United States and in the Commonwealth, and locally here in Falmouth, voters came out in record numbers to make their voices heard. Early voting and mail-in ballots comprised a substantial number of the votes cast before Election Day, and last week, Town Clerk Michael Palmer reported that all was going smoothly.
This is really no election like we have ever lived through. We're running a presidential election during a pandemic. With the expansion of early voting by mail and early voting in person, we're going to have almost 60% of voters have voted prior to Election Day. It's 2 months of processing ballots, touching ballots many times, taking a great effort on the part of the town clerk's office and election workers who have been voluntarily coming in. I have a great staff in the office, and I have a group of what we call the A-team election workers that have been coming in on a daily basis to process all the ballots.
In some of the races with local ties to Falmouth, Susan Moran defeated Jay McMahon for State Senate, and Doug Brown was elected to the County Assembly of Delegates. It's time now for three things from Town Hall, FCTV's condensed version of the takeaways from recent municipal meetings. Selections are chosen based on community impact.
The Future Fire Station Location Committee presented to the Select Board at their last meeting. The committee is recommending a location on Sandwich Road in Falmouth, citing coverage and responsive times to locations in town as a factor in the recommendation. Acting Fire Chief Timothy Smith addressed the board about the new staffing models that took effect on July 1st and mentioned the West Falmouth station is currently being served with volunteer hours.
I too wanted to thank the committee for all their hard work. I listened to many of the comments. There was a lot of good debate going on. I understand the passion that some brought to the committee, and I was glad to hear that. And it brings about these ongoing discussions that's necessary to look at our infrastructure in the town as far as the fire department's concerned.
The Select Board also discussed the status and future possibilities of the town-owned wind turbines at this meeting. The board discussed with lawyers and town attorney Frank Duffy many different roadblocks for any solution to move or dismantle the turbines without significant cost to the town.
So I just wanted to lay the groundwork of where we are right now, and just kind of go back a couple years. I won't go back the whole 10 years. I'm just going to go back a couple years. So in May of 2018, the building commissioner requested a plan be submitted for the disposition of Wind 1. The town manager responded stating that the town was pursuing several alternatives, working with an engineering firm. And at that point, we had under contract Weston and Sampson, and we contracted with them, and we decided to come up with a plan to perform an analysis. If you remember, we came in front of the board with this. We had an analysis done if we were going to move the turbines on the same parcel at the wastewater treatment plant, but away from the neighbors, and was there really an appetite for that? And then at that time, the select board voted not to operate the turbines in the town of Falmouth and to explore other disposition alternatives, such as operating them outside of the town.
The Select Board discussed many complaints about noise concerns at events recently happening at the Falmouth Fairgrounds. The board noted that the license states musical performances must be primarily acoustic, and this has not been the case. Other violations of the license seem to be occurring as well, such as the number of performers on stage is not being followed. Town manager Julian Suso said that the company holding the events has been notified of their violations, and the board will be discussing the matter further at their November 9th meeting.
On this past Tuesday afternoon, October 20th, I met with representatives of Vivid Entertainment, which was issued a special events permit by the Select Board in August to allow an adjustment of the hours and days in operation and the ability to include live musical entertainment. Since that time, the town has received some complaints regarding noise emanating from the fairgrounds into the adjacent residential areas, both in Falmouth and Mashpee. And as Madam Chair mentioned, those inexplicably, those seem to have increased rather than decreased even since I spoke with them. My purpose in meeting with Mr. Kevin Pacheco, General Manager, and Assistant Ms. Elena Rogers was to strongly encourage enhanced cooperation and collaboration in the management of these fairgrounds events as it relates to noise issues.
To see the meetings in their entirety, check out Government Channel 15's program schedule at fctv.org. It's time now for our calendar segment. Beginning on November 12th at the Cahoon Museum, stop by to view the debut of the original artwork from Sally Maver's latest book, My Bed, Enchanting Ways to Fall Asleep Around the World, which accompanies a poem by author Rebecca Bond. The museum's series of sculptural embroideries celebrates the cultural differences and highlights the universal theme of children sleeping safely in their beds. Go to cahoonmuseum.org for more information. On November 27th, Heritage Museums and Gardens debuts its annual Gardens Aglow exhibition, the celebration of lights that has become a treasured holiday tradition with a fully outdoor experience. This event features beautiful light displays throughout the gardens, as well as many activities throughout the grounds. Tickets are available through December 27th. Go to heritagemuseumsandgardens.org for more information. Also on November 27th, join Highfield Hall and Gardens for the return of the 14th annual Holidays at Highfield celebration. Although the existing COVID-19 safety and health protocols will be in place, Highfield will offer the public an outdoor and indoor holiday-themed experience to remember. The event runs through December 13th. Go to highfieldhallandgardens.org for information. Finally, don't forget to join us on Thursday, November 19th for the next virtual installment of our open mic series, Poetic License. Sign up for another night of poetry and prose, stories and songs, with entertainment provided by you and your friends and neighbors. Pre-register by Wednesday, November 18th to receive your Zoom login information. Check out fctv.org for more information. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll hear about the annual Alternative Gift Market, which has gone virtual this year. Stay with us. Welcome back. The alternative gift market in Falmouth has gone virtual this year because of COVID-19. 24 local, national, and global charitable organizations are hoping to benefit from the generosity of shoppers who are looking for holiday gifts for family and friends, and in turn donating to a worthy cause.
Yeah, when we start planning for the alternative gift market as a steering committee at the end of April, and by July, it was really clear to us that we weren't going to have this big live community event. And in fact, we learned at that time that St. Barnabas would not be opening their social hall at all. And we just said, this is unimaginable. We have to come up with another way. So we reimagined our alternative gift market as to how we could possibly do it virtually, and how we could even expand to not just include Falmouth, but to include neighboring towns. And we hope that people from all over Cape Cod and beyond will join as we move into this virtual environment. Sandy was very instrumental in creating this new model. So I'll pass to her to talk to you about that.
It's really very easy to do. When I got the link the other day, I clicked on, and I'm not always technologically savvy, but I was able to do it very easily. And it's just such a good feeling to know that you're doing something that will make a difference.
And for people who are attending and looking at the organizations, they can know that we have carefully vetted those organizations and that their money will go to a good cause. They also should know that 100% of the dollars that they donate will go to the charities that they have designated. So there are expenses to the organizations, but our congregations each pay a certain amount each year to participate, and we cover the expenses so that all of the money gets passed through to the charities. So shopping begins on November 7th and goes through November 15th. So people will be able to shop safely from home on their own time. But between now and November 7th, people can go to our website and read all about the 24 organizations and begin to make some decisions about where they might want to do their charitable giving. So they can do some advanced planning about making gifts of hope, gifts to make the world and our local community a better place. Never has the need been greater than it is right now. And we're just very hopeful and optimistic that people who love the market and love the camaraderie and community spirit of it all will pour that into the online site and get the same great feelings of supporting these 24 wonderful charities.
The alternative gift market runs through November 15th. Go to alternativegiftmarketcapecod.org to shop online. Thanks to Alan Russell for that story. COVID-19 has forced the Falmouth Service Center to adjust its Thanksgiving food drive and holiday toy program plans for 2020 in order to benefit local individuals and families in the safest way possible. We spoke to new director Karen Delaney to learn more.
Hi, I'm Karen Delaney. I am the new executive director of the Falmouth Service Center. I took the role on September 1st of this year. Before that, I had joined the Falmouth Service Center in 2009 as the first assistant director, and I've been basically the deputy director since that time, working with Brenda Swain for all those years as her partner. The pandemic hit obviously in March, and we had to pivot our entire food distribution to be a drive-through model. So fortunately, we had a model in place for what we do at Thanksgiving, but we're now distributing food to any household in need from any zip code. and it's a drive-through model. People drive up our driveway 4 days a week. We're here Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 10 to noon, and Wednesday nights. We're here for people who are coming after work from 3:30 to 5:30. They're pre-packed bags of food, so that is different. We don't have the pantry open. Pre-packed bags of food, plus milk, eggs, cheese, meat, fresh produce, pet food, and diapers. Now, since the fall hit, we've seen a big boost in the numbers coming through. For Thanksgiving, we're still doing a distribution on November 23rd and 24th. Our families are currently registering now for that program. The biggest change for Thanksgiving is our annual turkey drop-off day. We normally invite the entire community to join us, and this year we can't do that because of COVID restrictions. But we are encouraging people to come to the turkey drop-off day on Sunday, November 22nd, and we are accepting frozen turkeys. That is the only item we're able to accept right now, and it'll be a drive-through. Again, you'll be able to stay safely in your car, and we'll have volunteers who are taking the turkeys out that we'll use for distribution the next 2 days. This year, we're planning that we'll be potentially doing about 850 turkey baskets. We are providing turkey baskets to Falmouth families and also to military families serving through Joint Base Cape Cod. For our holiday toy program, that is probably the program that's had the biggest change this year. Normally, for many of you who have been either donated, you've dropped off toys and wrapping paper. We transform our warehouse into a full toy store. This year, we can't do any of that. We're registering people over the phone. We're asking for if they have preferences, and we have one program for the 0 to 10-year-olds and another program for the 11 to 17-year-olds. We cannot accept toys from the public, but we are accepting gift cards so that the families can either order gifts for their children utilizing the gift cards or shop at some of the local stores. So we are taking gift cards from 8 Cousins for books and toys and games for families, and Olympia Sports, Walmart, TJ Maxx, and Target. Our thrift shop is over at 141 Sandwich Road, and we reopened the shop in July. We're fortunate that we've had a great outpouring of volunteers for the shop. We're there Wednesday through Saturday, 10 to 4, and we are taking household donations at the shop from 10 to 2 on those same days. The fact that we're able to operate in this pandemic is in large measure due to the support we've had from the community. So we're very, very grateful.
Go to falmouthservicecenter.org for the latest information. Thanks to Andrew Richards for that story. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll check in with Ryan Collins of My Fishing Cape Cod for some fall fishing tips. Stay with us.
Businesses and organizations can promote their work and align themselves with people who care about their community by becoming an underwriter of FCTV's productions of Falmouth Town Meeting Live, the Falmouth Road Race, or Falmouth in Focus. FCTV produces a professional underwriting video as a means of publicizing the business or organization, which airs 3 times a day, 7 days a week.
My name is Michael Duffany, longtime resident of Falmouth, longtime supporter of FCTV. FCTV is very important in bringing some of the functions of town government to the folks, the watchers on TV. In my world, we're involved in local government a lot with permitting and some of the other aspects of zoning and planning and so forth. And again, this is all on FCTV on a regular basis, so it's very easy to stay plugged in. I think it's very important to have that transparency for the voters. Town meeting is a great example of people that can actually watch and see what's going on at town meeting and how government works in Falmouth. Without that, I think it would be a struggle for us to understand that, and it brings us closer together as a community.
Hi, I'm Bob Crane from Crane Appliance. My wife and I, Paula, we've owned Crane Appliance now for 38 years. We have stores here in Falmouth. We have one in Orleans and one in Vineyard Haven. I remember getting the call from Debbie and the building committee. They were looking to fill their studio kitchen with new appliances, and I told them without any hesitation that we'd love to be part of it. Paula and I have always supported a lot of the nonprofits in Falmouth. FCTV is a very important one, and as an underwriter to FCTV, it gives us a lot of exposure and it helps us out, and we really enjoy the partnership. I would also encourage any other businesses in the town to get involved and lend their support.
And I would encourage people to check out FCTV and see what it has to offer. You'd be surprised, and I think you'd be glad to support it like we do.
Welcome back. The warm days of summer may be gone, but the fish are still biting around the Cape. Here's Ryan Collins of My Fishing Cape Cod with more.
Welcome back to My Fishing Cape Cod TV. Right now I am fishing for tautog with my wife Lauren, and she has a monster on the line.
Nice job hooking that guy. I can't believe you hooked him. Oh, he's taking line.
Jeez. Okay.
Oh, it's a monster. Woo! That's the biggest of the year.
Yay!
Oh my goodness. Nice job, Lauren. Oh my gosh, that is a monster. Lauren, that's the biggest tog so far of the season right there.
Yay!
Look at that beauty. I cannot believe you just hooked that first fish of the day. Oh my goodness.
That's a good looking one.
They are. They're super pretty. Look at that guy. I cannot believe that.
I did that.
You did all of that. I cannot believe that. You even cut that crab. I was out here for 8 hours yesterday doing recon for this trip, and we did not catch a single one that was this big.
Well, I'm good luck.
You are definitely good luck.
That's what happens when you bring your wife out.
I guess so, yeah. What a beautiful fish. Now, these guys are really good eating.
Let's keep him.
Yes, we will definitely. Look at those teeth. See those teeth right there? That's for crushing crabs. That's for crushing all sorts of, mussels and conch. I think they even eat barnacles sometimes off of rocks. But look at those teeth. And you hooked him perfectly. That guy was not coming out. See how well that jig is hooked?
Yeah.
He took line.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What a nice fish. Good job.
It'll be good
Great
for
first fish of the day.
a good Parmesan crusted tautog.
Yes, that would be delicious.
Lauren and I were very eager to get our lines back into the water after catching that monster tog. Even though it was mid-October, the air temperature was quite warm, and soon the fog began to roll in. Fog can appear unexpectedly, and it's really important to remain cautious in foggy conditions.
It's just loaded with life. Pretty much as soon as the crab hits the bottom, we're getting bites. If you've got people with short attention spans, this can be a good type of fishing to do. And you don't need a big boat. I thought she had one. You could come out here. There's plenty of spots, rocky boulder fields that are close to shore that you could fish in a little tin boat or a kayak, even a stand-up paddleboard. And you can catch tog from shore. You know, there's plenty of jetties throughout the Cape and Islands that have tog hanging around them. The canal is a good place to get them from shore. So you don't even need a boat to do this. So these fish, you know, they might look small compared to a tuna or a big striper, but they are extremely, extremely strong. So when you hook a big tog, like the one Lauren caught earlier, you want to overpower them and get them up off the bottom as quickly as you can. So I'm using right now 30-pound braided line. A lot of folks will use 50-pound braid. And the reason you want to horse them up off the bottom quickly is because with all these rocks and boulders down here, those big tog, they'll bite and they go right back under the rocks, and they can get you all hung up and caught up under the rocks. You got to pull them up off the bottom before they go back down under those boulders and get you stuck.
Thanks to Ryan Collins of My Fishing Cape Cod for that video segment. Reopening the Falmouth Public Schools to in-person learning this year has meant a lot of behind-the-scenes work to ensure safety for all. In our next story, we'll look at some of the steps that the District Facilities Department has implemented for this school year.
At Falmouth Public Schools, we're excited that students have returned to our buildings, and health and safety is at the top of our minds. New safety measures and features are a part of our reopening plan. Our custodial staff is working diligently to keep our building sanitized throughout the day, especially in high-traffic areas. A thorough cleaning is done nightly in each classroom using EPA-approved sanitizers. Areas are additionally fogged overnight to help stop the spread of germs. For areas that didn't already have a sink, we've installed hand sanitizing stations. We've also added additional stations at each building entrance and in higher traffic areas. Physical distancing is in place in classrooms and common areas, with signs to help our students know where to stand and how far apart to keep from others. There is also directional signage to help with traffic flow in hallways. Visitors to our buildings will be limited to reduce exposure, and plexiglass has been installed in offices to protect staff and students. Masks are also required for entry into the buildings.
Thanks to Ryan Weber for that story. FCTV wants to remind you that television can be as easy as hitting record on your smartphone. We'd like to invite all Falmouth residents and visitors to share their slice of life with us. Email us your photos and videos, or upload them to Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using the hashtag MyFalmouth or Falmouth in Focus to be featured on the show. Thank you to our most recent contributors. We leave you now with the sights and sounds from around the Falmouth schools. Thank you for watching Falmouth in Focus. We'll see you next time.
Even though I keep calling him back.